On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony mines achievements and Ethan sets sheep on fire. We take a look at the week's biggest news and answer your questions. Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey, Tony.
What's going on, sir?
It's Saturday.
It is Saturday. We have played a spooky game. It's time to record a podcast. It's what we do around here.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing more of Sunshine Manor.
That was really interesting. That is a good proof of concept demo. For anybody that doesn't know, check out our PG Plays episode from this week, where we take a look at the prologue demo for a new game that's currently on Kickstarter called Sunshine Manor. I always get that's right? Because I always get that.
Yeah, you said the right one.
Okay.
He didn't mix it up with Camp Sunshine, which is the game that came first, but this game is like a prequel to it. So
yes. The demo took, 15 minutes probably to play through?
About that much. There was definitely some learning curve in there, especially trying to get the controls to work properly.
Yeah. But that is it's an 8-bit top-down horror game where you made a demon explode, and that was the most shocking thing I think that happened. But,
he said one little ripple and he might burst. So I was like, all right, let's see what happens with that ripple.
And it happened. He burst. So, yeah, go check that out. But right now, we've got other stuff to talk about. Technically, I've spent like 2 days mining achievements. Shannon has got me playing every little tiny game, not tiny game, but every game that you can get 1,000 gamer score in like under an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because Microsoft is doing one of their Microsoft Rewards things right now where you can, in the month of October, every bit of gamer score up to 10,000 points will get converted into Microsoft Rewards. So he has been sending me all kinds of like FAQs and videos on how to just
use the system.
Basically, yes. I completely cheated on one because I didn't even do anything in the game and I got 1,000 gamer score. But it's through a valid, I didn't break the game in any way. I did what the developers allowed me to do by adding mods to an Xbox game that just automatically unlocks all the achievements for you.
You know, if Metalloid... Oh gosh, which one was it? What was it called? Metagal. Metalloid Origin was the other thing. If Metagal is on there, that's an easy thing to do. Yeah, if it's using the same one as the PSN style.
Oh yeah,
like you just beat the first level and you're platinum.
That game is literally 10 minutes to get a platinum trophy. So
whereas it took me like a week or two to get it all done on PC because it's a different set of stuff to do, which is way more challenging, way more satisfying because you've earned that right.
Yeah. Yeah, the Metagal, that's not like a valid, I mean, it technically is a valid platinum trophy on my account. It's the only platinum trophy I have. And I don't know that I should get credit for getting that platinum trophy because it was so easy to do. But
I was like, there's no way it was this easy. Go in there, look at the list, and like, it's really that easy.
Yeah. So I played through Fractured Minds, which you actually do have to play through the full game of that. But the game, if you just speed through and just do everything without, like, if you have a walkthrough sitting right next to you, you can follow it. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to play the entire game and get all the achievements. So technically I did play that game and finish it, but I have no idea what went on in the game. I should actually go back and play because it does look like a really cool game. It deals with like mental illness and stuff like that. So I should actually go. I am going to go back and give that game its fair shake and actually play it the way you're supposed to.
Sure you will.
I will, because it even playing it, it might have taken an hour if I had to stumble through it and find out how to do everything myself. But having the walkthrough, it was super simple to do. Then I completely cheated surviving Mars. Subnautica, apparently you can get all the achievements in less than an hour. So I might do that. He's going to have all 10,000 points because you can get up to 10,000. I'm sitting just over 2,500 right now.
So that's getting converted to Microsoft reward points. So what's the conversion ratio here?
So it's essentially like, I think a $5 Xbox gift card is 46 or 4,800 points. So it's less than 1,000 points per dollar.
So he's doing this for like a measly.
He's doing it for $10.
$10.
Yeah. So
Shannon, my gosh, man.
it will right now. I'm sitting, I think on my account I have total 14,000 rewards points. So I'll almost double what I have if I manage to somehow get to all 10,000. I don't know that I will, but I have a list of games that I can go through and try to get all the achievements on. That's really, aside from playing Sea of Thieves most every night with Cole this week, that's what I've been doing. So, and that's been fun. I've been trying to go through Sea of Thieves and get a bunch of the commendations, trying to 100% complete the different Tall Tale quests that you can do in that. And I've done one of them. I'm almost done with the second one.
It's kind of amazing. You and Cole are going all in on this. Like, he sent me a message the other day. He's like, "Hey, I got a lot of loot to turn in. You want to join me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." I got done with that. I think 30 minutes to an hour later, you're like, "Hey, I got a lot of loot to turn in. You want to join me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, and you were reaping the benefits of all of our work by just coming and helping us turn all the stuff in. And then Cole and I, a couple nights this week, have played. Last night we ended up, I told you this story, we ended up starting a game. We were trying to do the first Tall Tale that you do in the game, because you have to play that 5 times to finish, to get all of the commendations, which unlocks new customizable options for your ship if you finish that 5 times. But we hopped in the game. Within 5 minutes, we had been attacked by Reapers and sunk. Cole died during the encounter. I did not, because I went onto an island that we were close to and just sat down and watched them and was just typing to them the whole time. "You're wasting your cannonballs. We don't have anything. We literally just started." So they sunk the ship and then came up. They were going to kill me, and the person that ran up to me saw that I was sitting on the ground and thought there was something wrong with me. And I was just like, "No, I'm bored. You're killing me." So, but we ended up spending like 20 minutes just hanging out with this crew of Reapers, because they found out we were on a Tall Tale, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we're so sorry. We have a strict rule that we don't attack people that are doing Tall Tales. You should have told us."
I really wish that was like a rule for everyone, because then I would be like, "Yeah, I'm on a Tall Tale every time." Yeah. Every time.
So every time you get attacked, doing a Tall Tale, that's all you have to do.
We see that you have the Reaper chest. Tall Tale.
Yeah, I got it. I just found it in a Tall Tale. I'm not sure how that worked. I have used the fact that I'm playing with a child as a reason to get people to quit attacking me.
Yeah, that's worked out to your advantage before. I've noticed. It
has. So if you tell people you're playing the game with an 8 or a 9-year-old, they'll usually back off of you. So yeah, but that was fun. That was one of those seemingly rare encounters with other pirates in the game that ended up being fun. And we hung out with them. We got some achievements from them. There were some things that you need to do, very specific things to an enemy to get an achievement for, and we just harvested those achievements. We got them from them. They got them from us. We all had fun. I got the achievement finally for playing instruments with 5 people. So, because I didn't have that one.
Nice.
So it's basically been a week of achievement mining for me is what I've been doing.
Sounds like a busy week.
It's been a surprisingly busy
for
week.
Abusing the system.
Yeah, I'll do it for $10.
Like, you have to legally change your name to Shannon.
Yeah, I've joined the Rife and Bargain Army. So, oh gosh, if that was a real thing, retailers everywhere would go out of business.
Gosh.
So, but that's what I've been doing this week. What have you been doing?
Well, unlike Tony, I took the high road and just farmed PSN trophies.
Oh, well, okay.
It's like, I'm not much better, but I wasn't doing it for $10. I was just doing it to be better or to have 100% done on a game.
You got to get that new achievement or trophy ranking up into the multiple hundreds.
Yeah, I'm like 325 right now.
I saw mine. I think I'm sitting at 219.
Yeah, yours wasn't too bad. I love that ours were ahead of Stewart's for like a few hours that one day. So it's like Stewart's double digits, and here we are triple digits. Just screenshot send to him.
Yeah, and I literally have not looked at my trophy list in probably 4 years. So I had no idea what I was before that. But I'm now in the multiple hundreds, which makes me, feel kind of good.
I've kind of gotten to where I don't care about the score anymore, but if I'm close to a platinum trophy and I notice it, it's like, if it's easy enough, I'm probably gonna go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this was one of those cases where I was like, well, this is all easy enough to do. I might as well just do it. And so I was playing Spyro, the Reignited trilogy. So I'm on Spyro 1.
Okay.
Whatever that one's called. The first Spyro game, we'll just go with that.
It's just called Spyro the Dragon, isn't it?
I think so, but it might have something with nasty Norks or in there. So I don't know. So put a lot of work into that over the last week or so, just grinding out those levels, burning sheep, having my firefly eat the butterflies. Not firefly, dragonfly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just called Spyro the Dragon.
Cool. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so, naturally, the obvious thing to do is to go into Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. So I started that up. I don't know if I'm going to go for the platinum on that one. It depends how easy it is, because this is one of those games where I want to get 100% of the levels done on there and everything. So if the platinum trophy coincides with that and there's like a few additional things to do, yeah, I'll go on my way and do that too on there.
Yeah, but I had set out originally when I started playing Spyro to 100% everything, and then by the time I was done, I was like, no, just finish the level. I want to be done with this.
Well, it's like I really enjoyed playing Banjo-Kazooie, and those are collectathons.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's not much different. So I have no issues doing that. It's like, all right, I got to find every little gem. Spyro 2 takes that same cue from Spyro 1 and then makes it much more difficult. Because you go into some levels, you'll get stuff done, then you have to come back later and do more. Like, you have abilities now. Like, there's a wall climbing ability, and you learn how to swim, which, my gosh, that was a game changer. So you step in water with just in Spyro 1, you go crazy, flopping and drowning immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really confused, though, because this is Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. And other than him having, like, two big dinosaur-looking things that you get to defeat, he doesn't look like he's much of a threat, if anything. So I don't know why he comes to the world and it's like, oh, he's taken over, and they're just letting him do it. It's like, how does that make any sense? I don't understand it. But I got to beat the guy now and tell him to get back to his own universe. And apparently he really hates dragons, so get to make it even more humiliating because I am the dragon.
Yeah, I remember playing a little bit of Spyro on the PS1. I didn't own one myself. It wasn't until 99, I think, when I moved in with my brother who had a PS1 that I played Spyro and Crash. And I remember playing both of those. I never finished either one of them. Crash just frustrated the heck out of me.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that one.
But Spyro was a lot of fun, and going back and playing this, now that you're talking about this, you're going to make me want to go back and play through Spyro again. Because I enjoyed Spyro 1 when I played that on the PS4.
I only ever played the demos originally on PS1, so that was my only introduction to Spyro until the Reignited trilogy came out, and now I own that and have played through it, or through the first game at least. So
I'm wondering if now that we've seen both Spyro and Crash get those original trilogies, and Crash got a new game out of it. I wonder if Toys for Bob, since they actually did the development on the Spyro trilogy, if they're going to go back and revisit that, and maybe we get a Spyro 4 out of this.
Did we have this discussion the other day? It's like, wasn't there already a Spyro 4 by a different name?
Well, we probably had. Well, Crash was the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's what the conversation devolved into. It was like, Crash Bandicoot had a fourth game as well already.
Yeah, and technically they've done sequels to Spyro, and Toys for Bob, did the Skylanders games. So,
yeah, they kind of know what they're doing. It's nice.
I like that they're reviving some of those older sort of mascot style games, and somebody is revisiting those and bringing those into a modern sort of context.
I want to see them bring back Jak and Daxter.
That would be really cool. I think Toys for Bob is a good developer to do that. They've proven that they know what to do and how to do that classic style of game. I think it was Spyro that they completely had to build the game from the ground up because there was none of the original code for that anymore.
Yeah, it sounds about right. It's been a while since I recall seeing anything like that, but it sounds familiar. And also that they gave every dragon its own unique skin or something, because apparently that wasn't a thing in the first game.
Yeah, in the original game, all of the dragons essentially looked the same, and now every single dragon is different and unique and has their own sort of personality.
Although there are two dragons, you rescue one early on, then like the last dragon you rescue, you're like, hey, didn't I already rescue you? And it's like his twin brother, but he's just a different color palette. That's all it is.
Yeah. I think they're allowed one palette swap.
Yeah, it's just,
with all of the
just a little tongue-in-cheek joke right there that they toss in. That's great. So yes, Spyro the Dragon, and maybe I'll get a platinum on it. I don't know. The second game, I don't know. That's what I've been playing.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then let's take a quick break. We will come back and let's talk about some of the news that happened this week. So, a few things to talk about in the news this week, Ethan. First off, you remember a few weeks ago when Microsoft bought ZeniMax?
Yes.
And people thought, that doesn't mean anything. Bethesda will still put all of their games on everything, right? And it did come out sort of that Bethesda will still have control over publishing their games, but you're probably not going to see those on the PS5, if we're being honest. Phil Spencer did an interview with Kotaku this week, and Stephen Totilo asked him specifically, would they be able to recoup the $7.5 billion they used to purchase Bethesda? First of all, if you make a purchase like that, you're expecting to recoup all of that money. You don't just buy it expecting to lose.
Yeah, that's kind of a dumb question to ask.
Is it possible that you're going to recoup that? Yes, it is possible. That's the answer every time. But Phil Spencer, basically, here's his full response was yes, before saying Microsoft doesn't have to ship Bethesda games on any other platform other than the platforms we support in order to make the deal work for us. His full response was the deal was not done to take games away from another player base like that. Nowhere in the documentation that we put together was how do we keep other players from playing these games. We want more people to be able to play games, not fewer. But I'll also say in the model, I'm just answering directly the question you had. When I think about where people are going to be playing and the number of devices that we had, and we have xCloud, PC, Game Pass, and our console base, I don't have to go ship those games on any other platforms other than those platforms that we support to make the deal work for us, whatever that means. Now, that of course, still, he's not saying we're never going to put our games on PS5, we're never going to put our games on Switch. He did talk about Switch specifically and say they do still have a pretty strong relationship with Nintendo, but they have no plans right now to bring any other Microsoft published games to the Switch. I also had seen that during that interview, people have been, even me have been saying, does this mean we're going to see Game Pass on Switch? And he had said it's not completely ruled out. That would be something Nintendo would have to say. But he'd really like, in order for that to work, he said it would take things like getting live on the Switch and figuring out a way to have sort of native experiences on the Switch as well.
Okay.
So,
wait, wasn't the original Switch specs like comparable to a 360, just beefed up or something?
They're somewhere between a 360 and an Xbox One, but I don't know, if you're looking at that from, 360 on the left, Xbox One on the right, where in that sort of line does the Switch fit? I don't know if it's closer to the 360 or if it's closer to the Xbox One or if it's somewhere right in the middle. So
it's somewhere in the middle.
I still would love to have Game Pass on the Switch. I realize a lot of people are still not completely convinced about, game streaming and what that's going to look like for the industry going forward. But
well, once we all have like gigabit, 300 gigabit cable running through our residences.
Yeah, like I understand in the United States, it's a lot harder to make that proposition work than it is in like Japan or in places in Europe,
because
the internet
people
is
like money, and so do companies.
The internet infrastructure in the United States is
horrible,
ridiculously bad compared to other places, and part of that is we're so big. It takes a lot of money and there's a lot of space in the United States that a lot of those other countries don't have. And so there's a lot of places that there's not very many people that live. So there's no reason to bring that higher speed internet out there.
Yeah, it's like unless you're on like East West Coast or like I guess bigger cities, they're like, yeah, we're not going to bother with that. Here's what you get.
Yeah,
luckily,
we've looked at places in like Oklahoma, which is where I live. If you don't live in Tulsa or in Oklahoma City or a couple of other really big, not really big, but the bigger cities in the state, you have garbage internet. So I'm lucky enough that I live in one of those places right now and I have really good internet. So streaming works for me because I have gigabit internet. I don't have a data cap. So I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, whose idea was it for a data cap? That in like this day and age, that's like insanity and robbery at the same time. It's like if you're a provider and you're doing that, you should be shot out of a cannon into the sun.
Just press Y to get in the cannon. Do it. And then shoot yourself out of it. Leave Rupert alone. I'm putting him in a cannon. He didn't do this.
Yeah, Cole.
So, yeah, but to get back to what we were talking about, Microsoft has said, yeah, we can make that $7.5 billion back by only putting Bethesda stuff on Microsoft platforms. No problem. It would be easy for us to do. He's, of course, not ruling out, and I think there is still it's going to be, the biggest titles are going to be Microsoft exclusive. but not every title will be.
I don't know. They could probably do like the biggest title and make it like Microsoft timed exclusive instead.
That may be the route they go. And so if you want to play Elder Scrolls 6 or you want to play whatever that space game is, which the name I keep forgetting
Fallout?
all the time. No, not Fallout. I mean, Fallout is of course one of them, but it's the other one that they're working on. The whatever that other RPG is that they're working on. I can never remember the name of it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, dude.
But regardless, if it's got Star in the name, I think. Maybe I'll have to look it up. But it doesn't matter. If you want to play those games, in the first year, you're going to have to play them on PC or Xbox. That's just the way it is. And then once that first year is up, Microsoft's like, yeah, we want money. So PlayStation, here you go. Have the game. Switch, here you go. Have the game. Whatever.
Are you sure you're not mixing up Bethesda's Fallout with Outer Worlds?
Yeah, there is another,
Starfield. There we go.
Yeah, Starfield. I knew it had Star in the name. It's that one they announced.
It's like I'm looking through the list of games like Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout Shelter, Fallout 4, Fallout, and then it's like Starfield, just right there, hidden.
It's that game you got the name for 2 years ago, and they haven't shown a single thing from it.
Kind of like Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. You got the name, and that was it. So we'll see. But keeping with the Xbox for just a minute, one of the things that Microsoft is doing, and Sony's doing this as well, an all-digital platform.
Okay.
The Xbox Series S and the PS5 both have all-digital platforms. GameStop is recently, I think we mentioned this. We might not have, but within the last couple of weeks, they announced a partnership with Microsoft, where Microsoft will help with some of the infrastructure in GameStop. But it's also come to light that they will also share revenue with GameStop on all digital purchases going forward. So, with some, there's a caveat to that. It's like if you buy a system at Walmart, GameStop doesn't get anything from it. But any Xbox that is sold in a GameStop store for the life of that system, GameStop will get a cut of any digital purchases made on that system. So if you buy a game, GameStop will get part of that money. If you subscribe to Game Pass, GameStop will get part of that money.
That's still really weird the way the way it's knowing that. Because it's like you said earlier when I was asking you, it's gonna have to involve its serial numbers in some manner on there for tracking that.
Microsoft knows all of the serial numbers for all of the systems that are connected to their servers in some way. But it seems weird because this is going to bring in some money for GameStop, but this can't be enough that is going to keep them from still having a lot of issues. This is good for them, obviously, and it gives them a foothold into that digital future where the industry is headed. But it's not a lot. One of the things in this story that I'm reading, and this is from I didn't keep the link of this one.
Oh no.
The one story I didn't keep the link to, I need to find where I pulled this story from, but they talked to Michael Pachter, and he said he doesn't expect it to have, and we haven't mentioned that name on this show in a very long time. He doesn't expect it to have a substantial impact on GameStop's health, saying that at most they would get probably around 10% of the digital revenue from these, which means if someone buys an Xbox all access subscription through GameStop, which that subscription for the Series X is $35 a month and it lasts for 24 months. If GameStop gets their cut of that, it's like $84 for that system over 2 years. is what they get.
Really? Gosh.
So, but that's just for that one specific thing, which gives you Game Pass Ultimate. It gives you, you get an Xbox, and you just pay that over 2 years. But then any other digital purchases that are made on that Xbox, GameStop would get a share of that. So it's $84 at minimum if they do in this specific scenario where they do the all access subscription. They get that $84 plus then any games that system purchases digitally. So it's not a ton of money per system, but still it is money that GameStop's going to be getting just by getting another Xbox into the ecosystem or getting another person into the Microsoft ecosystem. So
okay.
We're also seeing a lot of people wonder if this means that GameStop is going to try to push people towards the Xbox over other systems, which is something I guess that could happen. But I think, PlayStation and Nintendo Sony and Nintendo would both be very, very upset if their parts of the store are substantially smaller than the Xbox part of the store. It's almost like people are worried that GameStop is just going to become like the Microsoft store all over again.
I could see that happening, yeah.
So we'll see. We still got some time before we start to see any impact on GameStop from this partnership, but I'm very curious to see how this works and whether this is enough to keep GameStop from just crumbling. Because we also saw, this was just a story while we were looking for news stories, that Nintendo Switch sales got a huge boost at GameStop after Reggie joined the board of directors at GameStop. So, not that, Reggie was like, hey, everybody go buy Switches from GameStop now. I think there's just a lot of people that still have that fondness for Reggie and are like, hey, he's over here now. Let's.
Yeah, his name carries a lot of weight.
It does. It does. And I think his name will carry a lot of weight for a long time. There's a lot of people that really like him. Then there are also a lot of people that don't, because they don't think Nintendo America was run particularly well towards the end under his leadership. So, but Reggie Fils-Aimé is still a name that is very, very well liked and has a lot of weight behind it. So, there you go. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is this week, just out of the blue, Sony dropped a state of play type thing where they showed off the user interface for the PS5.
Yeah, they did.
Did you watch this video?
Not all. I just watched enough to see what the interface looked like, and then that was it.
It's like it's a 12-minute long video. I watched the whole thing, and
what I found was like a little 5-second GIF. GIF or GIF, however you want to say it.
I don't care what anybody says. The correct pronunciation is GIF.
Right?
So I watched the whole thing, and I gotta say, there's a lot of neat things that they're doing with the UI. It looks pretty slick, and they're doing a lot of stuff where they showed off, like, the thing that got me the most was like in-game hints. Not in-game hints, but hints for games that you can access while you're playing the game. So if you get stuck on a particular part of a level, they said select games would have videos basically showing you how to get through, or how to find specific things, how to get past a specific portion of the thing. And the cool thing is you can have that done picture in picture, so you can see the video of someone playing that part of the level while you're playing that part of the level.
Interesting.
Which I thought was really neat to look at. The overall thing itself looks pretty nice. It looks a little similar to the Xbox style. They're getting away from uh, the sort of even the PS4 had a little bit of the cross media bar in its user interface, and it looks like they're getting away from that a little bit. It looks much more boxy, like the Xbox user interface, than the PlayStation has in the past.
It's definitely a little different. It's I don't know if you wanted a comparison just without like if you're not looking at what I'm showing on screen right now, just and you're familiar with PS4 or PS3, well PS4, where you have like your games and apps or whatever listed, and then above you have like your menu items like settings and all that. It's more like they put the settings and stuff on the bottom of the screen, and now you just have your apps at the top or something. Kind of. Does that sound right
Mm-hmm.
to you, Tony?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's like they flipped it a little bit and streamlined some stuff, but yeah.
Another thing that I really thought was cool in there was trophies. The way they do trophies, they've got a new thing called activities, which you can see the list of trophies, and then you can see it shows you number one, a progress of how far you are along in finishing that particular thing to unlock the trophy.
Finally, Xbox has had that for a while.
But it also then tells you how long it should take you to finish that thing to unlock that particular trophy.
That's asking too much.
So I thought that was kind of neat. And I know like the Xbox does have your progress bar as well that you can see how close you are to completing a specific achievement. They, of course, then showed off their quick launch stuff, just like we've seen recently with the Xbox, and quick launching between games. And also, I think they showed off. They basically turned off the system, turned it back on, and restarted from where you were. I think you've seen that similar on the Xbox Series X as well recently.
Yes. Just the quick launch into a game that you like resuming where you just left off.
Mm-hmm. They also showed off a little bit of the capture features. You can capture 4K screenshots, 4K video, and they did mention, just like the PS4, that the PS5 is recording while you're playing. It's constantly recording while you're playing, so you can just tap a button and save recent gameplay videos or screenshots.
They did also mention earlier this week that with the PS5 you can now record your conversations in party chats. Mm-hmm. So if someone's breaking rules of conduct, you can save that recording and submit that to Sony for review.
Yeah.
There was an update to PS4 this week, and it said your party chat may be recorded, and a lot of people misunderstood, saying, "Oh, Sony's recording our conversations." That's not what that is.
Yeah,
it's the option to allow the players to record their options if they're on the PS5.
Yeah, it gives you the ability to record something, so if someone's harassing you or whatever, you can record that and send it to Sony, so that they can take action should they choose. Another thing I saw that was kind of neat, I don't know that it's something I would ever use that much, but video sharing with friends. So if you're playing a game and your friend sends you a message like, "Hey, I'm playing this. You want to check this video out?" You can actually choose to share their screen so you can see what they're doing, and you can drop that in a picture-in-picture thing, so you can keep playing while you're also watching your friends' video of what they're currently doing as well.
I like that. I think that would be really awesome. Like if I'm playing Monster Hunter with Jason and Stuart, it's like I can have their stuff over on the side or somewhere. I don't know how it works. Like I said earlier, I haven't seen this video. But I could have their stuff up on screen, assuming at least one of them. Be like, oh, okay, so he's over there hunting that. That's what it looks like. That's what it's doing while I'm over here restocking on potions, and I can get over there and be ready to heal or do a jump attack or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or it'll work really well on Destiny for, like multiplayer matches.
I'm wondering, and they haven't really talked about it or not. I'm wondering if that will work with like Twitch streams as well. Because there's been a lot of times where like you're streaming something and I want to watch that stream, but I also want to be playing something at the same time without having to have like 3 screens around me with like my tablet showing yours, my phone showing the chat for my stream, and then my stream on the TV. So it'd be cool to have that down in the corner so I can watch your stream and see what's going on with what you guys are doing while I'm also streaming something. I think that would be
that
really
would
cool.
be really awesome. Yes.
So, there's still, of course, I'm sure there's a lot of things that people are going to uncover over the next few weeks as these systems start to get, because we're only like 3 weeks away from the launch of these systems, so we're pretty close. It'll probably be early spring. I'll probably pick up a new Xbox. That's probably the way I'm going to go. That's what I'm thinking is I'll pick up a Series S probably in the spring, and then next year, the year after that, I'll pick up a PS5.
Okay.
But we'll see. I really liked what I saw from this user interface video. There's some really neat stuff that they're doing. And I'm sure some of that stuff that you see on the PS5, if it's not on the Xbox at launch, they'll probably figure out a way to implement some of that stuff on the Xbox as well. So
I'm sure it'll happen eventually.
Probably. But that really is it, unless you have any other thing that you want to throw out there.
Are you looking at the chat right now?
No, but I can.
Yeah, take a look at the chat. Just let me know when you're looking.
Okay.
Okay. And
what the heck are oh lordy. Those are terrifying. You're now, of course, going to have to put a picture of this in the podcast.
I'm very aware.
that nailed it. Like, have you seen that show Nailed It on Netflix?
I've seen the Twitters, the internet stuff for Nailed It.
They have nailed it. That is exactly what Kirby cookies should look like.
There's these adorable looking little Kirby cookies, that's already cut out and everything. It's cookie dough placed on the baking sheet, ready to go.
Do you have the other Kirby picture that you sent out to people this week?
Yes, I have that one as well.
You should show that one as well.
It is just a Kirby plushie, and the face got put on there upside down because of the way you would do a circular plushie thing on there. And
he has feet on his head.
Yeah, it's just because the face is upside down, everything becomes a nightmare on that.
Oh, Kirby,
I sent that to my little sister, the picture of that. She said, "I love him."
People are doing Kirby wrong. Poor Kirby.
The trick is not to recreate Kirby. He is already in his purest form.
He's perfect as he is, unless you are playing Smash Brothers and you inhale Steve, and then Square Kirby is pretty darn cute.
Okay, yeah.
Minecraft Kirby might be more pure than regular Kirby.
I doubt it.
So,
I mean, he might be a square mill, but Kirby is an all-rounder.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see. That is the perfect place to end the show right there.
See you all next week.
Thank you very much, Ethan, for being here. If you want to reach out to us, we have new ways to do so. You can email us at procedurallygeneratedent@gmail.com. If you like what we do, you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/PGENT. Patreon supporters get the video version of the podcast a day early. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/ProGenInt. Check out our YouTube channel, and we still have that famous Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.